Progtologist, Progtology 101. I'm here with Jill Janice and Carl and Ian and Blake, who came in late. We were told he was going to come in late. It's Progtology 101. Music gets progressive. I'm here with the Progtology. We don't analyze sphincters at all.
Yeah, we played here before in San Francisco. I think that, we're now on our way up to the big leagues, so this is getting exciting, especially opening for a band of such caliber as Dragon Force, slaying dragons, bringing power metal to the masses.
This is a big day for you guys. Like, your American release is today, correct?
It is.
Yes, congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Surprisingly so.
And from what I get...
I know.
Speak for yourself.
Well, actually, it's been the most magical time of our lives. We're a very new band. We've only been together for about 2 years. I mean, I've been trying to, find the right musicians for many years now. So for me, it has been a bit of a struggle, and living in poverty in New York City, and years and years of waiting to find musicians at the level of musicianship to create the type of music for Huntress. So it's been a long journey, but now that we're here, and couldn't be happier. And today is the day that the album came out in the U.S. So the birthing is complete.
It's like the day that most musicians dream about, right?
Right.
Like I was a struggling musician for the longest time, and I gave up. So I'm glad that you guys have reached the beginning of what the pinnacle might be, right?
Yeah, well,
we got the box.
Yeah, we did. We
Solid for hobbies.
That's right.
Yeah, well, we received the CDs today from our label, Napalm Records, and I have to say, holding it in my hands was pretty much everything I've ever wanted. It was better than birthing out a child, certainly. Well, first of all, I feel that metal and opera, are an easy marriage. Both dramatic and the basis for the type of metal singing that I approach. The foundation is there. So all that classical training has really helped me maintain the voice night after night. Occasionally, two of them are dead.
That's probably good because
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Oh, jeez, I'm so sorry. Oh no.
No, it's
Chris
not
went
too
and
soon.
stepped in it now.
They were old ladies when I started working with them. Yeah. But anyone that I've worked with prior in the theater world or in opera, they now know what I do. They go, oh, it makes sense. You were always so difficult. No, in fact, my mother, who's been with me on this path my entire life, and taking me to auditions and paying for lessons and on and on. The first time she saw the Eight of Swords video, she just was like, "What are you doing to your voice?"
Oh my goodness.
And I think at this point now that she sees, that it's becoming, potentially lucrative. Now she's all cool.
Of course.
Or more so that you're not actually hurting your voice.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm able to speak to her, after a show. So that's, I think most people that meet me, especially after, knowing I've been on tour now for 2 months, are the most surprised that I'm still speaking normally. I pretty much scream my head off every single night.
Well, yeah, I've done it, and that's why I'm surprised. Like, that's, and I was classically trained as well for a while, and I did off-Broadway type of stuff, and I tried the whole screaming thing, and I was like, all right, after about a year, I was like, I can't do that anymore.
Well, I have to give credit to these guys, too. Ian and Blake for turning me on to Melissa Cross. That's really someone that in their previous band
there's people nowadays that can teach the proper ways of doing that stuff, and I'm sure that's nothing that they went over classically, opera training.
Never.
They don't touch on that, but nowadays there's people who literally tell you how to do that and do it the right way, so it's not hurting your voice. It's like making it more dynamic and making it better.
I don't know if you guys are Pantera fans, but Phil Anselmo from Pantera said it was a lot of weed. That's what he said. A lot of weed, just, stuck in my throat. Yeah.
I would say that could also contribute to an awesome voice. Other people's opinions are never factored into any of my decisions, and the boys and I all feel strongly about that. what we do is what we love, and outside opinions have no place in our core. You know, I couldn't do this without them, and I wouldn't want to do this without them. You know. And
It's their day.
That's awesome.
It's their day.
It's their day.
Well,
but you know, the thing is, you know, I've got 4 dudes backing me up, and you know, it's whatever occurs on the outside of our core is unimportant. And you know, I'm sure they can elaborate on that a little bit more.
Well, I think it would be totally awesome if someone was protesting us. I think that'd be just hilarious, and probably in the end just serve to like make us more infamous and
Of course.
and radical.
Well, then you're a real metal band if someone's protesting you, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
we
you
need a
know.
good acronym.
But that's not like our
Yeah.
goal.
Hellions under the horrible existential satanic service.
You know what?
Wow.
I'm gonna come up with one and
Trademark
email you.
that.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get the brain power behind that one.
That's not our goal at all, though. Like we just want to like Jill sings about whatever she wants to sing about, or whatever comes naturally to her, and we write riffs that sound good to us, and it's just the stuff like we want to play, and we do it like as best we can, try to make that sound that we love the most. So yeah, I don't think we go about like worrying about whatever people might think. We just try to do what we only know how to do, and hopefully other people will register with that.
That is
too.
kick ass, by the way. The new disc is fantastic.
Oh,
I'm really impressed by it. I had heard you mention in the past that what was the phrase? It was melodic death thrash. Where did that come from? Did you guys coin that phrase? Did
some
somebody
dude
else
was
coin
like,
it?
looking for the best melodic death thrash video of the year or something.
Is there more than one? I've never heard of melodic.
No.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's just like it's some kind of progressive power metal hybrid, but like you
It's
know,
hard to define us.
yeah,
you know?
which is great, by the
Yeah.
way. I think that's awesome.
It's like that's just like a name, like a tool to try to get it across to people before they've heard it. But I mean,
We're not
metal has
metal.
been done in so many different ways by now. It's like it's hard to make some entirely new sound. So you know, like all of us just listen to our favorite things and try to write what we like, and then it comes out sounding like what some guy thought sounded like those things.
He
Melodic
forgot the
power
black though, so.
The black
That's right.
names.
Call the names of the Father, Son,
A ton of stuff, but like definitely King Diamond would be a big influence. The f***ing Champs, Judas Priest.
Nice.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think, Carl?
Definitely like, Iron Maiden. For me, as a drummer, it's Iron Maiden, Death,
Death, right?
and Mickey D with
Mickey
Motorhead and,
Nice.
and King Diamond and Merciful Fate. and all
When we
that stuff.
first met him, it was like, we played with him the first time. He plays like Mickey D.
Yeah.
He's just writing on the ride cymbal, and we were just like, this rules. It's on.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's on.
And then the magic happened. But.
What about you? I know that Dissection was something was a band we were listening to during the writing process a bunch. At least I was. I'm obsessed with Dissection.
That's a big influence. But that's all these different bands that you can have as an influence. Like, we're not trying to be the heaviest, most brutal band of all time, and that seems like kind of a good game or competition that takes place in the metal world is like, oh, that's pink metal. That's not. It's like
that bothers me. I can't
whatever,
stand
man. Like, if you want to listen to the most brutal thing ever, it's already been done, and I'm not going to get any more brutal than that guy.
Yeah.
So we just do what we do.
that. No, it's one of the things I like about your disc the most is that it's heavy, but it's melodic and it's good, and it's got you write good songs.
We stay true to the roots of heavy metal. I say it over and over again, but I really believe that's the beginning for us, is just staying true to the roots.
Yeah, we like the song. Get out there once in a while, but like I think more of us prefer like songs.
Bless you.
So, at the end of the day,
Because I'm hyped.
So unprofessional.
Yeah.
Cut it out, dude.
at the end
God,
of the day,
ruin the whole thing. I
Thin
need to start
Lizzy
over now.
No, you really blew it.
I did.
I know,
It's,
the whole thing. We have to
first
start
day.
over. I'm going to ask the same questions again. Just don't
first day.
sneeze.
I don't care.
You don't care.
I mean, if it brings more people, it brings more people. And if, it takes people are either going to go, oh, cool, she's hot. And if they hate metal, but they still want to come see us or dig it, then cool, then we open somebody's doors. And if they hate us because she's hot, then whatever, they didn't probably listen to the record or they don't like what we're doing, and they can eat it that way too. It doesn't matter. It's like, it is an attractive point that she's a babe, but she wails, and the thing is, if
She does.
we just put her in a burqa and then people would be happy, like, I don't know.
It's
not
ridiculous.
gonna happen.
I want to rock a burqa, actually.
Yeah.
That would be pretty
If I
badass.
can afford to buy one, I'll do
She's
that.
gonna be
Are
so
they
sweaty
expensive?
showing her ankles.
No, I just don't have any money.
Oh, okay. So send Jill Janice money. We'll be all good.
For a burqa.
For a burqa.
Shut everybody up.
All right.
These swords don't protect you. They bind
And the whole
I'm
thing?
not. I just hang out and stuff, and whatever makes her happy, it makes her happy.
Blake and I sometimes get a little bit weird. He can get a little bit weird.
Most heathen thing I probably do is just smoke weed.
Nothing heathen about that. Gosh.
You know, she's...
If that was heathen, half the city of San Francisco is going
Yeah.
down.
Since meeting her and witnessing firsthand some of the spooky that she brings with her, not necessarily in a bad way, but just uncanny coincidences and just creepy things of that nature kind of have sold me a bit on what she's all about. None of us have altars besides her, but we're all open-minded.
That's awesome. That's definitely cool. So, like, were you always a practicing witch? Like,
Since birth.
Since birth.
My family's very eccentric. They met my family. Now I think they may have a better idea of my upbringing. I was born in the Catskill Mountains, which is a region known for its occult.
I'm from the
background.
area, so yeah.
Oh yeah, you are.
Not well, I'm from New York City
New York
area,
City,
but still, I'm
Tri-City,
familiar
yeah.
with Catskill. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I grew up on a farm with many siblings, and was always encouraged to seek my path, whatever it may be, and very eccentric and loving environment. But most of all, there are just things from birth that were pretty special. So I was kind of guided in that way by many things, unseen. And I am pagan, and love nature, and that's something that will always be also with this. And the image of Huntress is that there will always be misconceptions about my beliefs. Satanism, isn't big. I'm not a Satanist. Satanists are rad. I've got many satanic friends that are really cool
They're
and
rad.
intelligent. They know how to party.
Of course they do.
I'm really just a little witch that's likes to trip on shrooms in the woods and play with fairies. So
Yeah,
and then whatever else. Sometimes there's a crone that will come out, and she's I believe the true Huntress. So
What's a crone now? I'm sorry. Just explain.
Like the maiden, the mother, and the crone, the triple goddess. And,
Gotcha.
and so sometimes I feel that there's this hag that comes out during the recording of Spell Eater, especially. I felt her presence a lot, and it can get a little bit spooky.
Now, is that a lot of the growl? Like, one of my other
Yeah.
questions was, do you have any support on growls at all? Like, do you guys do any backup type of things?
The album is all me.
So it's all you.
vocals are me. Yeah, and some of those sounds that came out of me, I had to stop Chris Rakestraw during recording and actually ask him if we could do it again, just to make sure I could. One thing I find very vital to Huntress is that we're all able to duplicate everything that we record live.
Absolutely.
So if we can't play it on stage, then it won't be on the record. If I can't sing it and duplicate it live, I won't do it. That hasn't happened yet.
That's very cool.
But I always make sure. So, in summary of asking about my beliefs, I prefer to keep my mystery, and I'm very happy little witch, and I visualized a lot of this, so it's been quite surreal.
It's wonderful. It sounds awesome. Like, it sounds really, really. It sounds very peaceful. So it's cool.
It is until things can take a little possession. But that's really just during recording processes. And
Well, when you're
usually she
channeling
leaves.
something, I think that can happen to anybody. When you're channeling something,
There's sounds on the song Aradia that came out of me that were.
Well, that was one of the ones I was asking.
Pure demons.
Well, that's one of the ones I was thinking of when I wrote down the question, are there any support, backup vocals, whatnot, because there was a lot going on there, and I'm like, all right, well, this is...
Yeah, and demonic is not always bad, That's the thing, is that there's some levels of, demonology that I don't, believe are awful at all, and some of those moments will be heard on the record, and they're quite exciting.
It's funny because we've been out on the road for 2 months with Pagan Fest and now Dragon Force, and our album comes out the day before we get back home to LA. Like, literally, we're back home in LA tomorrow. We do have 2 Southern California shows, but, like, we didn't even get to sell that record or have it at all on the road. And, like, we didn't even get it till today. Like, we haven't even seen it till the day it came out.
Just held it in our hands today.
Wow.
So we're just stoked to have that. But after this tour is done, a few days we hang out for 2 weeks in LA, then we go to Europe for the Metal Fest open air festivals going around.
That should be pretty cool.
And yeah, we're pumped because we've never been to Europe as a band.
Awesome.
Or, she's been to Europe. I've been to France one time. But, like, dude, like, this is what, like, all I could ask for. All I ever want to do in a band is write some riffs and then travel around a little bit.
It's cool, man.
It's fucking all happen.
Well, congratulations to you guys,
Thank
and
you so much.
have a killer show, and thank you so much for being on the show and giving me a few minutes.
No
Sure,
problem.
thank you for
Thanks for
having us.
interviewing us.
It's Huntress, you guys rule.